Hey guys, so what I've got for you guys this week is a continuation from last week's recipe, which was, well, not last week, but last recipe I put up was butter chicken. So I've got a recipe of naan bread today. So I was really quite surprised how easy it was to make, and it turned out fairly like what you'd normally buy in an authentic Indian restaurant. So I was very happy. It tasted great, which is what we're always after. So hope you guys enjoy it, and I look forward to hearing your feedback.
Rightio guys, paying attention, we're going to start with a small bowl, and into this bowl we're going to pour in 150 milliliters of warm milk. Needs to be warm, otherwise our yeast won't proof. Following this, we're going to stick in 2 teaspoons of caster sugar and 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast. I'm going to set this aside for around 10-15 minutes, and you'll see that the yeast activates and it starts proofing, and it'll be a nice frothy mixture. And we're going to pour this into our flour once it's at this stage. In the meantime, grab a larger bowl, and into this larger bowl we're going to stick in 450 grams of just plain flour, followed by half a teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. This completes the sort of dry ingredients, so we're going to stick in our wet ingredients next. Sweet, so our yeast should have proofed by now. It should be nice and frothy on top of our milk. So we're going to get a spoon to make a well in our dry ingredients, and we're just going to tip our yeast and milk mixture into our dry ingredients, followed by 2 teaspoons of oil and 150 milliliters of plain unsweetened natural yogurt. And to finish things off, we're going to stick in 1 egg that we've whisked quite profusely, and we're going to stick this in. Now you can either grab a beater or with some dough hooks, or just use the old spoon like I'm going to do. And we're just going to fold all this in until we get a nice dough consistency. Once all the ingredients are sort of pulled together and you've got a sort of a nice dough ball forming, we're going to turn this out onto the bench with a little bit of dusted flour, and we're going to use a bit of elbow grease and just start kneading the dough. Knead it for about 10 minutes most probably. Just like with any bread, it needs to be kneaded for the gluten to activate with the actual flour, which will give it a nice fluffiness when we actually come to cook our naan bread. Once our kneaded dough is all nice and silky and smooth on the outside, we're going to stick this in a bowl, cover it with a tea towel, and stick it in a nice warm place for it to proof, roughly around 2 hours. Now, it's been 2 hours. You can see that it's doubled in size, so what we're going to do is pull it out of its bowl, put a little bit of flour on the surface, and just knead it down, roll it into a nice sort of long tube. It makes things easier when we come to cut up the naan breads. I've gone for 6 nice sized naan breads, so divide this log up into 6 pieces, and all we're going to do is simply roll each dough ball out into a nice sort of teardrop shaped naan bread. Now once we have all our naan breads rolled out, we're going to cook them. Now I've heard of people cooking them on a really hot skillet. I can't get a skillet that hot on top of my stove, so what we're going to do is grill it in the oven, this is absolutely fine. So I've got the oven set to 180 degrees Fahrenheit on grill, and we're going to preheat our oven tray that we're going to be cooking it on. We're going to whack down 2 naan breads, put them into the oven around 10 centimeters away from the top of the grill, and let it cook for about 30 seconds. You just note that I'm trying to show you here that it puffs up. This is what you're after. It gets that really nice puffiness, which will later deflate, so don't worry. And you'll get a nice browning to both sides of your naan breads. And pretty much there you have it. You've got some beautiful naan bread that you can have with your butter chicken if you decide to use the recipe that I posted out last week. Feel free to post and comment below. So I'll see you next week. And next week I've got a raspberry and white chocolate slice, so keep your eyes peeled for that.